All right. So I don't know how good Malik Willis will be, but I think he's going to go really early at the top of the second round. If I said to you, all right, Klatt, put the, let's put the Karnak hat on and make a big prediction here. Where do you think he goes? Where works for him?
All right, there's three locations early in tonight's second round. Seattle has the 40th and 41st selection, so that's the 8th and 9th pick tonight in the second round. I think that's an interesting spot for him. The Falcons have the 43rd selection. That's the 11th pick in tonight's second round. Or the Lions have the 46th pick, which is the 14th selection tonight. I think one of those spots is where he goes because he fits. Those teams need him. And the Seattle one is interesting to me, Colin, because I wrote this down a long time ago. I said, someone said, give me a comp that's best case scenario. If Malik Willis reaches his full potential, what is he? And I said, okay, that's interesting. He's probably a stronger armed Russell Wilson. And there Seattle is with the 8th and 9th pick in tonight's second round, 40 and 41 overall. That's an interesting spot.
Yeah, I thought Baltimore did such a great job. Best safety, best center, never moved up. What did you make of the Jets haul? What did you make of what they did?
I thought they had the best first round of anybody last night. They got my best corner as the second corner taken. They got my best wide receiver as the second wide receiver taken. And they got my third best edge rusher way down I would categorize in the bottom half of the first round. I mean, that was an amazing night for the New York Jets.
Yeah.
I thought that they won the first round. Everyone talking about the Giants, I actually saw some problems with what the Giants did a little bit because I thought that they left the best tackle on the board in Ekwonu to draft Thibodeau, which would have been there for them at 7 anyways.
Yep. That's exactly what I thought with the Giants. Exactly. Yep.
And so, everyone raving about the Giants draft, it was good. I'm not going to say it wasn't good, but the draft has to have some sort of value proposition. It's not just the names that you take, but it's when you take them. And to me, if they would have taken Ike Ekwonu, then Thibodeau's going to be there for them with their second pick in the first round. And I think that they would have gotten a better offensive lineman and still Thibodeau. So that's why I didn't have the Giants up there. A lot of people coming after me that I didn't have the Giants in there. I loved what the Ravens did, and I love what the Eagles did, by the way, because Jordan Davis is a heck of a defensive tackle. And then you get A.J. Brown for basically like you're drafting him 18th in this year's draft. So, granted, they have to pay him $100 million, whatever. I think it's $57 million guaranteed. But those are the three that I thought were the best first rounds.
So, Green Bay just doesn't draft receivers, and regardless of why or why not, in the first round, they don't anyway. So give me a couple of, they're going to address wide receiver. Again, it's Sammy Watkins is old, Randall Cobb, Alan Lazard's mostly a 3 or a 4, and Amari Rodgers is who they got last year. He's a slot. He's not changing the game. They need to get faster. They need to get more dynamic. Is there anybody here in this? They got 2 picks second round, Joel. Anybody the Packers could target in the second round, a receiver you like?
Yes, actually. I think that there's a number of really good players. And I do want to defend them for not drafting. There were 6 wide receivers taken in the first 18 picks, and the Packers were just out of luck. Those were the only 6 that I had first-round grades on them, genuine first-round grades on. So I'm going to give you, let's see, I've got 5 guys listed.
Oh,
Are you
boy.
ready?
Okay,
and they're
I'm
all
ready.
different, and it's eclectic, but here's the list that I think at the 53rd or 59th pick, the Packers are going to select one of these guys. Jalen Tolbert, John Mechie, the Alabama receiver, George Pickens.
Yeah, no, he's
Georgia
interesting.
receiver.
He's interesting.
Sky Moore, I think he's interesting, and Christian Watson from North Dakota State. I think one of those 5 is going to be a Packer.
Oh, then you'd feel pretty good about it. They, for the record, for all the criticism, they draft and develop pretty well. They do a pretty good job at this stuff. The Jordan Love pick.
And they got better on defense last night.
Oh, yeah.
They got good players last night. So this wasn't a throwaway. There was a couple of teams that I scratched my head at in the back half of the first round.
Give me one.
I thought the Cowboys, I didn't get it at all. I didn't get the Cowboys and obviously the Patriots. That was strange, to say the least.
Yo, you know what? So the Patriots went and got a guard. I would have just paid Shaq Mason, but what do I know? And I called 2 executives on the Patriots pick, and both executives said we had nobody on our scouting staff that graded him as a first-round player, most a third, a couple second. Now, the Patriots historically draft the O-line pretty well, so what do we know? But it's odd. I cannot figure. I just say this. I don't get New England's drafting. I don't get it.
Yeah. Their drafts have been all over the place. Some have hit, some haven't. I don't know. It's a fascinating deal. Do you mind if I go back to the Cowboys though?
Yeah, please do.
Please do. List, and I understand that they think offensive line is a position of need. Okay. But edge is a position of need for them as well. Rushing the passer. They left Jermaine Johnson on the board. You could have paired Micah Parsons with Devin Lloyd and had the best two young linebackers in football. He was on the board. And Tyler Linderbaum, the best interior player. Everyone says, oh, he's just a center. Bull crap. This guy is athletic enough. He wrestled. He was a track guy. He played baseball. Like, he could play guard if you needed him to play guard. I know that is a minority opinion on my part, but he was left on the board. So they take Tyler Smith, probably, I'm going to say 15 spots overvalued, and leave Tyler Linderbaum, Jermaine Johnson, and Devin Lloyd on the board. Like, that's just not good value. And whether he works out or not, it's just a pick that I scratch my head at.
Yeah, I couldn't believe Devin Lloyd dropped that much for the best player on Utah. Now, I mean, Utah's got a lot of guys in the NFLs. Iowa's got a lot of guys in the NFL. So those are really good.
You were trying to praise Iowa last night, and I just they don't want to hear it from you. They do not want to hear it from you.
I am not a people pleaser. I am very tough on Iowa, but I acknowledge. I kept saying Linderbaum was my favorite. I said he was going to go in the 20s. Watch this kid be a Pro Bowler for 10 years.
On that point, Colin, I have three favorites in this draft.
Okay.
Guys that I knew weren't going to be the first pick. Obviously, listen, I had Hutchinson number 1 overall, but three guys that I was just they're going to make an immediate impact, number 1. 2, I think they're going to be all pros within their first 5 years, and they could be all pros for a lengthy career, at least 2 of the 3, based on the positions that they play. Kyle Hamilton, the safety from Notre Dame, Tyler Linderbaum, the center from Iowa, and Breece Hall. We haven't seen Breece Hall come up. So the running back, granted, you're not going to get a 10-year all-pro career out of a running back, but this is a guy that's going to be highly, highly impactful. The Ravens got 2 of those 3. So I can't wait to see where Breece Hall goes tonight. I think he's probably in my top 3 players available going into the second round.
Okay, finally, as America's honesty broker, I watched USC spring game. Now.
Oh, I knew it. I knew we were going to get to USC.
Okay. Now, they're not going to win a national championship this year.
No, they're not.
They're not. The front seven's not good enough defensively. They'll score a bunch of points.
Right.
They looked completely organized and physical. They haven't looked like either one of those in 6 years. So I watched them, and I thought to myself, the game is moving to offense. He's the McVay of college, I think. Caleb Williams is really good, really good. I'm sure you saw the spring game. This is what you do.
I did.
It smelled like not only teen spirit, but 10 wins to me. What do you make of it? 10 wins?
Well, I mean, you're dating yourself, and you're giving your Seattle roots there, because none of the players on the field are going to even know what you're referencing with team spirit. But that's neither here nor there. I'm going to stand by this, and I've been beat up over this prediction. I think USC at some point this year is going to be a top 10 team. I don't know if they'll finish there. I don't know if they have the staying power, like you said, up front defensively to finish the season there. But I think they're one of the 2 best teams in the Pac-12. It's not going to shock me if they win the division. UCLA is quietly a very good football team. I think LA is strong. Utah is obviously still strong. They're the defending champ. I'm interested to see what Oregon does with Dan Lanning. But you'd be crazy to think that Lincoln Riley is not going to build something special at USC. I think that they can make an appearance in the top 10 this season, and I think that they're going to be a playoff contender within, if you said over under 2.5 years, I would take the under.
Oh, God, yeah. Under, absolutely. Nine wins this year. By the way, did you see what they did to their schedule? I did see that. Bye week before the Pac-12 championship, so they can be rested to polish off whoever it is they do. And it's very.
I've never quite seen you like this. I got to tell you, this USC obsession, it's fascinating. I love it.
Well, they've been not great for years, so I've been very.
Well, that's an understatement. And listen, I love Clay Helton. I'll just say it like it is in my estimation. The football adults are back in the room at USC, and there are so many great players in Southern California that we would be completely crazy to think that this is not going to turn into something really special in college football. Okay,
first player taken in the second round today is who?
Oh, gosh, Tampa. I don't think that they need anything right away. I think Jalen Petrie, the safety from Baylor, is interesting because he's such a versatile guy and he can give you a lot of slot defense. And when you look at what they were able to do and not able to do, in particular in their loss in the divisional round to the Rams, they struggled in the slot a little bit. So I'm going to go with Jalen Petrie.
By the way, you're staying in a very well-appointed room. Obviously, the budget here is got more than enough room to put you up at a very nice.
Well, I mean, not to offend anybody at Fox, but this is the NFL's budget, so this is not. I'm not staying at the Cosmo. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah. Good, Joel Klatt. I love Joel Klatt. Good seeing you. Good seeing you, buddy.
Great to see you. See you, bud.
Yeah. Listen, you got to get some USC questions. From this point forward, all Joel Klatt interviews will include a USC question.